Hello and welcome into the PHLY Phillies podcast. I am Jamie Lynch. As always, Renee Washington to my right. On the YouTube, it's also to my right. Okay, I didn't know if that got inverted because my brain's not that smart. But yes, Renee and myself here. And if you're seeing, because I'm going to put a sweatshirt on shortly because I'm a chilly little boy. Is the PHLY Phillies shirt you can get on the allphly.com, or if you join the Die Hard, you can get it for free. And there's other perks that come along with being a Die Hard. We'd love for you people to become Die Hards. You can hop in our Discord for the remainder of Red October. So before I put my sweatshirt back on, I just wanted to point out this beautiful shirt that is extremely comfortable, and I love the colors of it. It really pops, and you can help us by supporting us here at PHLY as we're getting ready for a Red October. I do love this shirt.
Jamie's giving model vibes right now.
Yeah.
You're modeling off the shirt. Should we give you a runway also to show us?
Yeah, no, never.
But no, welcome in, guys. I see we've got Mopar. You were tapping your foot waiting for the show to start. Well, I'm hoping that you're done tapping now because we are here. We have started. And it's always great to be able to have something fun and entertaining to watch while you're getting your tires changed. Welcome and spiral out. Yeah, I think Ranger was sweating tequila. I agree. And Stubbs definitely looked like he was still smelling like a New Year's Eve party. So the Hangover crew, who we all expected was going to come into Wednesday's game and just shit the bed and not play well, to be quite frank. We were all expecting nothing at all. And honestly, I remember saying, and I tweeted about this, as the game started, I was like, this is exactly how we expected the game to start out. You go down early. I didn't expect a great performance, but the Hangover crew proved to us, doesn't matter. Tequila in your veins, ice in your veins, it's all the same, because they still found a way to win and get their 7th straight victory. Hungover, and I love that Garrett Stubbs was like, I still was feeling it this morning. I felt great this morning, but I was still feeling hammered.
Yeah, I would imagine
and
so.
He went out there and had a performance like that, especially for Stubbs with his first home run of the season.
Yeah, and poor Ranger, he's been the hangover pitcher now 2 years in a row. And Ranger, you better not be drinking in the playoffs because it doesn't suit you well.
No.
I don't know. I'm sure at some point in your career you probably played hungover. I did not. Oh, okay.
We always had a dry season in college.
Oh, yeah, we did too, but I would ignore that and go out.
Nope.
Yeah.
We followed it.
Yeah, most of the lacrosse team would probably break that rule in college.
Totally different experiences. We actually followed our dry season. That's why we won championships.
I don't know if it was because I was so miserable playing hungover, but I tended to actually play better hungover.
Oh, see, I don't have good hangovers. So I did have a spring practice where I was hungover. I went to Rihanna concert the night before with my teammates, and I was extremely hungover. We had to run a fitness test, and I was like dogging it. I was walking. But I mean, the fact I made it out of bed in itself was a victory. I didn't really care what happened as long as I didn't vomit or pass out.
Well, so my hangovers later in life got that. In college, I was like on top of my game, and I didn't really get hungover, so I could go play and practice, and I would tend to play better. It was really weird, actually.
Wow.
Yeah,
you were Garrett Stubbs.
Yeah, I guess so. Me and Garrett Stubbs, one and the same, except I don't know if I'd ever wear the overalls.
Or be able to dance like that.
No.
Okay,
I never got low or anything.
You're Garrett Stubbs.
I'm going to set you up here for an early ad read because after the game yesterday, Garrett Stubbs gets the interview, and we're going to talk about him in a second because he did something that was awesome after his interview. He's kind of the hero of the game with the 3-run home run and all that. And Tom McCarthy and Ruben are talking to him, and they go, "Where'd you get those overalls?" And he goes, "I got them from Foco."
You did. Foco's got you covered. If you want to get those overalls and check them out, you can head on over to Foco. You can use the code PHLY, get 10% off. You just lobbed that one up for me.
Yeah.
And knocked it out of the park.
Foco was on TV locally yesterday.
Already got the shout outs. And like Garrett Stubbs is saying, yes, they've got the overalls, the bracelets, the merchandise, the bobbleheads, whatever it is you're looking to purchase. Foco's got you covered. So again, that code PHLY for 10% off. We usually do our reads so much later in the show.
We do, but Garrett Stubbs gave us, I was thinking of Foco all day because Garrett Stubbs gave him the shout out.
Stubby has his own bobblehead now.
Love it.
Yeah, Foco's got you covered.
Yeah.
But Garrett Stubbs was one of the very just the storyline there. We say poetic, but like in a 24-hour span to see him going from overalls and dropping it like it's hot to then hitting a home run and as he was saying, like maybe he needed that champagne and to be hungover, tequila to hit the home run. Sometimes, like you said, people play better when they've had some liquor in their system and you are now like just feeling carefree and with that, he just literally got his first home run. It was like 407 days since his previous home run in 2022, and it was a 3-run homer at that. So it was like a fantastic play that you
first of the year
in a 24-hour span.
Garrett Stubbs, please drink before every game you start. David Wells, I believe, was really hungover. He said in his perfect game back in the day, and then there was that old school guy that threw a perfect game on acid. Who the hell was that? Was that Goodrich or they used to call him Goose? Oh, what the hell's his name? Pitcher that threw perfect game on acid. So some people just, when they get themselves, it was Doc Ellis. Doc Ellis threw a perfect game on acid, which is, maybe the greatest athletic achievement ever.
Look, there's flu games, there's hangover games too. There's acid games.
And there's acid games. So, I've never done acid, so I don't really know how it would affect you in pitching, but I would imagine it's quite a wild experience.
I like what Stubbs was saying. He thought he was going to be so hungover he'd have like baseballs flying at him and not be able to see anything. And he goes out there and hits a 3-run homer. I mean, that's so Philly. And everything about yesterday, honestly, was just screaming like that's so Philly. There were so many things that we watched happen. Ranger, who I'm sure definitely still was burping up tequila. Now that feeling, I literally want to vomit just saying that because that's a feeling I've had too many times. Not a good one. But then goes out there and is like, just get me off the mound. Basically.
Yeah, you want to pull me? That's fine.
Pull me, please.
I got nothing today, Topper. Come and get me.
Gave up 6 runs. Please take me out.
Yeah, but it was fun. Look, some people in the chat yesterday said take the Pirates money line. I didn't actually make a play on the game, but I probably would have taken the Pirates if I was, just because. Let's see, you had no Bohm. Harper doesn't drink, so he was one of the constants that stayed. No Stott, no Turner, no Schwarber. No Castellanos, and they went out there. And shout out to Gabe Bassine in the chat yesterday who said, and we gave it out, hopefully somebody was ballsy enough to jump on it, that Sosa was going to go yard.
Yes.
And he did. So I can't imagine what an Edmundo Sosa home run anytime odds was, but that had to be pretty nice. It was just one of those kind of hilarious games where, the bullpen comes in and gives you 4+ scoreless baseball. Sir Anthony looked good, which was awesome. Orion, who we've talked a lot about, came in and looked great again in an inning. And then Soto looked awesome to close it out.
Apparently everybody just needed to drink.
Yeah, apparently Phillies just keep drinking. We'll join you. And somebody in the chat was talking about where we're going to be. We do have something special cooking for, I believe, Wednesday's game that we're working on, and we will give you details on that shortly. So we definitely look forward to hopefully cheersing a couple of lot beers or stadium beers with some of you diehards and nut jobs that have been following us from the start because we love you guys. And without you guys, we're nothing. So, if the Phillies want to keep drinking, me and Renee will stand in solidarity with you in the parking lots.
I mean, if we have to. And cigars, too. If you really want to twist my arm, sure,
so
I guess.
You are a cigar person.
I'm a cigar person.
Yeah?
I'm a whiskey and cigar person.
Okay.
I'm not, so for...
a lot of guys out there just went, "What's up, Renee?"
I don't drink beer. I don't like the way it feels. I'll sip on a beer, but I will babysit a beer like crazy.
Yeah.
I'm more of a whiskey person, so Jack Daniels, Evan Williams, bourbon, any dark liquor with a cigar, like that's my vibe. Tequila was back in the day, which is why I can't really drink it anymore because I just used to drink straight tequila and not mix anything or chase anything, and it was reckless. as hell. But I'm here. I survived to tell the story, I guess.
I think we have 3 inches of rain forecasted again this weekend.
Yeah,
Phillies are going to be up in shitty field. Unfortunately, I think it could start Friday night. I was kind of looking forward to a bourbon out by the fire on Friday night.
We haven't had one. It's been so rainy.
The best investment I ever made was like a $49.99 portable TV stand, because I'm a cable cutter, so I have internet TV, and I can just take this TV anywhere around my property. So I just have a fire pit going. I bring the TV out. Me and my wife, after we get the kids down, we'll sit out there. And like one of my distinct memories from last Red October was sitting out on the deck with the fire going, the TV set up. You know, we were having in our cups, as they say, and just having a great time watching baseball. So I was looking at that Friday night, but it looks like Mother Nature might crap on us again this weekend.
Yeah. Well, parking lot party is happening. Love a good cigar. I am a very classy pinky up drinker. Not at all. Not at all. But it's remarkable. I know, I think it was Kyle Kairos that was asking, is it more pathetic that the Phillies were able to win, or just humorous, I guess, that the Phillies were able to win drunk, or that the Pirates lost to a bunch of drunk guys? I don't know, actually. I'm not sure which is worse, but I think, to be honest, it's like sometimes you need to have those moments to just let loose. And that's what we saw Tuesday night. You clinch, you know, you also are going to get home games. So Red October is going to be at Citizens Bank Park. You're celebrating on the field. You're clinching at home, which hasn't happened in, I think it was 2011 was the last time that I saw that happened. So you have a chance to now do that in front of your fans, with your family. And for a lot of these guys, I know we are jokingly saying like alcohol helped them, but it was also probably just the fact they had a chance to like breathe. Like that's that sigh of relief. The pressure is off.
It was just no pressure. It's like, what do we got to lose? Let's go out there.
A day like yesterday literally was that type of a game. Everyone's expecting them to be hungover and just completely play terribly. And so you have nothing to lose. You can go out there and just have fun. If you're Soto, you're Sir Anthony, whoever you are, you're getting that opportunity to get on the diamond, and so you want to just make the most of it and see what you can do. So pressure off, and this team handles liquor, pressure, no pressure, doesn't matter. The winning streak is continuing. Yeah, and it was great to see Bryce Harper kind of get that go-ahead home run. He is locked the hell in. And of all the things that are trending in the right directions here for the Phillies as the season kind of winds down, there might not be a better one. I think Alvarado's huge. Nola looking, I've said he's the X factor, so I'm kind of contradicting myself. Him looking good in the last, 2 or 3 starts is extreme positive. But Bryce Harper's power returning and him looking as good as he is, that's 15 home runs in his last 60 at bats. He's on an absolute tear right now. And we know how this team thrived with the long ball last year. So of all the things that are positive, and there's a lot of them, Bryce Harper's power returning and him looking as good as he does might be the biggest one. Yeah, it is. When you think about how much we've been just keeping an eye on Bryce, there was a time we were wondering what Bryce was going to look back in his return from surgery. Was he going to be able to play first base? Was he still going to be able to have the same arm strength? And check. Everything's fine. I remember being at Citizens Bank Park and he wasn't even playing yet. He wasn't even cleared to be back, and he was just getting reps in. And we were all waiting with bated breath. And here we are, 21 home runs later, and a postseason spot. And it's like Bryce actually looks like he took his game up a notch. And now these games are just another chance to just play. I know there was the question of, who's gonna rest? Is Bryson Stott gonna be out? Who's gonna get some rest? And Bryce is probably gonna get to play down this last stretch of games of the Final Four. You'll probably still see him out there because he missed a month and a half. Yeah. And so to see him working back in form at this point, and I agree, Mopar, his face, he's on a mission. He's locked in. He's dialed in. Like Bryce is, even when you think about the celebrations, I know he doesn't drink like you're talking about. But overall, when you look at that celebration, he's like, he's enjoying it, but he just had that look like, I'm not done yet. There's more for me to do. It's like all right, just watch now what we're about to do next. Hey, but Eugene. Thank you, Eugene. T-shirts and shorts are very fashionable. Okay, these are actually Lululemon shorts. Are they really? Yeah, they were on discount. But blue and green. Blue and green. Yeah, no, see, okay, I'll fess up there. I suck, and I don't really think much about, I just kind of grab and go. Actually, nothing you're wearing really matches. Okay. Well, I originally had the sweatshirt on. I just wanted to show off the awesome T-shirt.
But backwards? Eugene, yes, my wife would agree with you. I have terrible fashion police. So this is a little better, isn't it? Because now you just don't. The blue is, it pops. So now that's better, right?
Such a dad.
Am I all right?
Am I right?
I just don't really think about much.
I mean, who cares?
I'm pretty much a hoodie, quarter zip, and golf shirt guy. I think
it's a really funny combo of a hoodie, like a crew neck and flip flops. I feel like that's so
contradictive.
Yeah, I mean, granted, I like that in the summertime. That's a great when it's cooler in the evenings and maybe you're by the campfire or you're like walking on the beach and you've got like a hoodie on with flip flops.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just like whatever I can do to not wear socks.
Do you wear sneakers in the winter? What's your sneaker shoe? I feel like I haven't.
I mean, I actually have like Jordans and a couple nice like pairs of shoes. I just don't like wearing socks. So you'll probably see me in clogs. Yeah, I don't know.
Wait, clogs or like Crocs?
Birkenstock clogs.
Oh!
Yeah, like probably 90% of the time.
Even in the winter?
Yeah, because I don't wear socks. I just go barefoot in clogs.
Not this again.
Yeah. Thank you, Spiral Out. He says, Jamie is on fleek with that outfit. I agree. I think it's a great Kenwood sweatshirt. Shout out Kenwood. On fleek. I am on fleek. But yeah, and I'll wear clogs majority of the time. Now, if I go to a game or a concert, flip-flops are not good because of the men's bathroom situation.
Oh, that's why they're not good.
Well, yeah, that's the only reason. Because the pea shrapnel, I'm just not I'm just not letting that happen. So I wear shoes.
Wait. What?
There's pea shrapnel in the bathroom.
What's a pea shrapnel?
Shrapnel, like
shooting all over the place.
Like some guys will just, not control themselves.
Oh.
And if you're standing in a non-divided urinal setup, which Citizens Bank Park and a lot of concert venues are. This is not something that you'd ever have to think about, Renee, but this is real. It's real out here in these streets.
You're getting a lot of people defending you too. Mickey and Justin are saying like you're looking dad comfy. That's the Bucks County guy outfit.
Yeah, I mean I'm living the dream. I get to wear whatever I want and do a job I love. So I don't care about fashion at all.
It's the laugh. It's the laugh. Yeah, Brandon, I don't know. A lot of these sentences I was not expecting, but every episode without faith, like, listen, if nothing else brings you to the show, if it's not our fantastic insight on the Phillies or previewing upcoming games or breaking down the wild card race and now looking at the playoffs, it's Jamie's takes, the random things that you say that we learn from the fact that you go to the bank to the fact that you walk around barefoot, to now the outfit. Like I don't. So when it snows,
I'll wear clogs.
No.
I mean, it depends how much snow. If it's over like 2 or 3 inches, probably not. But like, I'm not going to be outside that long. I walk to my car and I walk here and I walk in the house.
Do you shovel the snow?
Yes, only my sidewalk because I have awesome neighbors that we share a driveway. It's kind of penis shaped, so it's like we each have one of the balls, and they have a snowblower, and they'll do the whole driveway. So I only have to do the sidewalk. I really lucked out. I hit the neighbor lottery. It's the best way I can describe it. It's a penis shaped driveway. Like if you were drawing one, like in high school on your buddy's books. I used to do that. Anybody else? No? Tyler did it. All right. I got one.
That's such a little boy thing to do. Like a high school boy thing to do.
Nobody ever said, I never claimed to be mature.
Oh my Lord. It's going from bad to worse, guys.
So I just have to do the sidewalk. So I really lucked out.
In clogs, though?
No, I will put on boots for that.
With socks?
Oh,
no. That's a no. Oh, my God.
It depends on the storms. Depends on the severity of the storm.
If you're shoveling snow, you need socks.
It depends. Depends on the day.
All right, guys. Well, get a bite out of this. There was an alligator at Citizens Bank Park. We're going to get off this conversation because Jamie's taking us down a serious rabbit hole here.
Anyway, the point I was getting to is next Tuesday and Wednesday, when we're going to the game, Wednesday, we're going to be hanging out with people. You will actually see me in shoes. So I will be wearing, most likely.
That's where we were going with this?
That's where it started, finally. And then the penis driveway and pea shrapnel all got in the way. But yes, I will be wearing shoes and socks at the Phillies game.
So will I, guys. So will I.
So no flip-flops at the Phillies game. These bad boys, you won't catch them live.
Yeah, I'm the only one that has to suffer with them here in person. But listen, Spiral Out, thank you. Same with the best duo on PHLY. Yeah, because we talk about penises and bare feet. Like, that's what brings you guys back.
I don't know how else to describe my driveway.
What? There's a lot of shapes that could be.
But not one that paints as clear of a picture.
Okay. Well, let me paint this picture for you. There were some celebrities at Citizens Bank Park, and it started with Topanga. We all love Topanga.
See, now, Tyler, were you too young for Topanga, or is she your wheelhouse? Too young? So
what?
I was thinking, because Topanga, like, if you're probably between the age of...
No, but you're only 2 years younger than me, and Topanga was my age.
Tyler just hated Boys Meets World. We'll go with that. But Topanga was like her, Kelly Kapowski, Pink Power Ranger for Tyler.
Pink Power Ranger.
Those were like
I used to want to be the Pink Power Ranger.
Sweethearts of our youth. Nobody from Full House really did anything for me. I was Saved by the Bell, Boy Meets World. Yeah.
Well, because they were also younger. Like DJ was the oldest one on Full House, and she was not older until much later. And
well, I was the same age as them then. I'm not looking back now as a grown man.
No, I mean,
being like that 12-year-old didn't really do anything for me. No, I was also 12 at the time.
I mean, okay, I don't know what I mean. But I mean, they were just like awkward little kids. Topanga was like,
Kimmy Gibbler can kick rocks.
Yeah, like,
Alex Mack. That's a great one from John Lemmerman. She's still an actress.
Wait, which character was she?
She was in 10 Things I Hate About You. She was the sister.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
that was a good one. Yeah. But Topanga, also known as Danielle Fishel, was out at Citizen Bank Park. She
with
did
the
throw
2 other actors.
But we're only talking about
the
Topanga.
older brother and
we don't care about Corey and Sean.
Corey had a falling out with the whole crew.
I heard about that.
Yeah, so Corey doesn't hang with them anymore.
You know what? It's tough when you're on a show with somebody and you do so many episodes together, and after a while they just start to annoy you and you just have a falling out.
Yeah.
You know.
Sam from Who's the Boss? What up, Mickey Durkin? I see you.
Alyssa Milano.
Yeah.
I love Alyssa Milano.
Samantha.
She still looks the same, by the way. She's so beautiful.
She's got a female baseball fan clothing line out, I believe.
You guys are dropping all the pretty ladies from back in the day.
Yeah. But Topanga's up there for people. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. So Topanga threw the first pitch. We saw her on the screen. Tyler showed you guys. You had a chance to look at beautiful Topanga, who also still looks the same.
She does look the same, yeah.
The beautiful, the look is all still there.
Corey Matthews outkicked his coverage. Everybody can agree there.
Yeah. Well, Corey just looks like Shia LaBeouf to me, which is so weird.
Really?
They resemble each other. Huh. It's very similar. If you really look at them side by side.
The Savage Brothers were a real power duo in the 90s there.
Savage Brothers.
Fred?
No. I don't know what you're talking about.
You didn't do the Wonder Years?
No, the Wonder Years were before me. I came after the Wonder Years.
The new Wonder Years is actually really good.
I've seen, at least I know of the Wonder Years. Unlike my guests that were on my show. At least I know of things that were before my time. Wow, you're really going down another rabbit hole here. Holy moly. I used to love Alyssa Milano, especially in Charmed, which I'm sure people didn't watch, and I'm probably the only one that watched that. I didn't watch that, but I knew. But it was I thought they were all so pretty. They still are, and then get a bite out of this, because you guys missed my line the first time I said it, so I'm going to say it again. Get a bite out of this. Wally was also at Citizens Bank Park. Guys, the real celebrity in the house was an alligator. That's right. Now, this picture went viral. I actually got tagged in this. Shout out to the Fandemic crew. Shout out to the Philly captain as well. They gave me all the lowdown on who Wally is. This is not your ordinary alligator. Now, the owner who is holding the leash for Wally, I can't pronounce his name properly, so I'm just going to say the owner.
He has emotional support alligator t-shirt on.
He's saying that's his emotional support pet, and that he had to have the alligator with him because, much like an emotional support dog, you keep your emotional support pet with you.
Is this guy a real Phillies fan? He's never tried this before?
It gets better. He does live in the area. He's not from Florida. If you were wondering, he's not from Florida.
It does scream kind of Florida man a little bit.
It screams Florida. But not only is that his pet, he actually said Wally sleeps with him sometimes in the bed.
What?
Philly captain did an interview. I knew you didn't know that, because you would have said that earlier. And I love dropping bombs on you in the show. So for anybody that's missed it, Philly captain, who is on Twitter, I think at Philly captain, did a video interview.
Yeah, that guy's got the most Philly accent ever.
Oh yeah.
Him and my buddy Eric Fink have the 2 most Philly accents I've ever heard in my life.
And he was interviewing the owner, and the woman Jackie is part of the Fandemic crew. She's one of the OG Fandemic crew members. So I got the lowdown from them that Wally sleeps with the owner sometimes.
Does he have a missus?
That was actually the question that was asked in the video. No, he does not. He said it's easier this way.
I mean, wait, what? I mean, it's easier this way.
Like
so
he was saying, like
he would choose the alligator over a real life human woman.
He was saying like I don't know the exact context. I don't remember word for word, but he was essentially saying like the alligator instead of a missus was like it's a better trade off. Which that's his emotional support pet. So we're just gonna leave that there. So also, I'm wondering.
Lot going on in my mind right now.
I have several questions of: did you buy a ticket for Wally? Like, was Wally? When you think about a pet, an emotional support pet coming in, I don't know where you normally sit. Do you normally sit in a seat with? Is Wally in a seat? Is Wally on the ground? Are you in the club box? Are you on? Where are you at? I don't think
if you have an emotional support dog, you don't have to buy the dog a plane ticket.
Where does the dog sit at a game?
I think under your seat or something.
So now is Wally under the seat at Citizens Bank Park? Like, this is the picture I'm trying to paint for you guys.
Ed Wright with the comment of the day. He says, yeah, I sometimes also sleep with an entire jar full of Black Widow spiders so I can get some good rest. Like, I cannot imagine, like, when me and my wife, like, touch legs in the middle of the night, it's just like, Imagine, like, touching a scaly alligator.
He was letting people pet and hug Wally. I guess you snuggle with Wally.
I guess Wally's all about peace and love, but like
Wally is also trained.
Wally could also just turn around, snap, and kill you whenever he wanted.
This is also true, but
so that's a real risk
in this world. Everything's a risk in this world.
Wow.
So it gets better though.
The alligator.
It gets even better because Wally is not only an emotional support pet, Wally is also an actor. Tyler, were you able to grab the picture that I sent of Wally in his on-camera debut? Like, for those of you guys that are Marvel fans, Loki from Thor. Loki had a spin-off of his own shows.
Yes.
And there's an alligator Loki episode, and Wally is the alligator. Wally has more. Probably makes more money than us. Honestly,
yeah, is Wally rich?
Wally low-key makes more money than all of us, guys.
Next week?
Wally has full credits, and I actually listen. The Virgo and me had to do a deep dive. Like most of you guys just saw the picture and you stopped there. Don't worry, I got you covered because I researched it. Wally, if you Google Wally has like Google hits. You're gonna Google Wally. Oh Lord, Wally the alligator. And Wally's actually has the credit of being alligator Loki. He's a Marvel actor. Yeah, people are just saying they saw it. I mean, listen, Wally is way cool. This is not your ordinary alligator. We're not talking, I don't know any alligators, actually.
He says, Wally makes me feel loved. That's beautiful.
Wally makes him feel loved. Wally cuddles with him at night.
Yeah, it's a picture of him hugging. It's an alligator. I mean, he clearly trusts the alligator, but I would always think like, man, one like animal instinct and he's going to bite my head off.
Some people have cats, some people have dogs, some people have alligators. This is the world that we live in, that people are comfortable openly. Do you need protection in bed with Wally Gator? Oh no. Oh no, it's getting worse.
From the scales.
Is he on strike right now with the SGA? Wally is literally an actor. This is a serious thing. So
Mickey Durkin says I ran into Wally last week at Del Frisco's.
Wally's everywhere.
Well, I guess Wally can afford Del Frisco's with his Marvel money. Park.
I saw Wally out and about in the city.
South Philly's a wild place.
You might walk up onto Wally. Make sure you say hello.
I once saw a guy on Washington Avenue walking a kimono dragon.
I mean, I'd rather walk a Wally than a kimono dragon.
Man. Yeah, because they can like eat you.
I mean, they all can.
Yeah. No, I'm good. Like my dogs are all I need. But
so yeah, if you guys missed out on all, don't worry, Google's got you covered. It's a simple, easy find. But Wally not only was trying to get into the game to cheer on the Phillies, Wally also has been all over the place in Hollywood with Loki. So he's starring in movies.
According to this story, he lives on Cheetos and chicken legs. The man lives out near Hershey and doesn't even have a cage.
Yep. That Western Pennsylvania, man. You're going to get a lot of things out there. Though alligator is eating better than Ed Wright said. Yeah, I mean, you guys, you know what? You take that however you want to take it. I just want to make sure on this Thursday, if nothing else on this show, you're learning about Jamie and his weird clog-wearing ways in the wintertime. And you've also learned that alligators are apparently a great pet because they can bring in, they're another source of income.
Wow.
They can help you. Listen to all these benefits of Wally.
Yeah.
Wally can snuggle with you. Wally eats a great, diet that you can cook for the two of you. So you can have dinner together. You can snack with Wally while you're watching a movie. You can go out to the ballpark and watch and cheer on the Phillies with Wally. You can also have Wally brings in money. Do your kids bring in any income?
No, they're bums. They should get a job.
Wally's doing more than a lot of kids these days.
Wally's not cheap.
While they're out making TikToks, Wally's out playing Loki.
God.
Bam.
The owner says you can reach in and grab his tongue. He's that docile.
So we're gonna get Wally on the show.
He lives all the way out in Hershey, but apparently he can afford the gas money to get out here. Well, whatever works for him. I just think it's a little off to think that they were going to allow Wally in Citizens Bank Park.
I just am really trying to figure out where Wally was going to go. Like, what was the plan? What's the plan here? Where's Wally sitting? Are you buying him a hot dog at the half? In between the innings?
He likes chicken legs.
Are you, when you go to the bathroom, does Wally go in the bathroom? You want to talk about a urinal situation. You think you go in the bathroom with Wally? He's there, just the two of them. It was just him and Wally.
I would imagine people would scatter if they saw an alligator.
Most people take their son or daughter to the ballpark. He took Wally.
That's wild. So where does Wally ride in the car? I guess just in the trunk?
That's the thing. I have so many questions. I feel wow. Is he in a car seat? Is he buckled in?
That's one of the wildest things I've ever seen. And it got national attention. So Wally's, a star all over again. John says there's a good TikTok account of the dude just walking around Florida swamps and picking up snakes. He runs into a ton of gators, and they all seem cool with him. He calls them swamp puppies. Are alligators misunderstood? Do they have hearts of gold?
Don't let that tough exterior fool you. Deep down, apparently they're big softies that you can snuggle with them at night.
Mopar says Wally rides shotgun. They couldn't actually. Now this is going to sound real dumb, but we're kind of thinking this out loud. Could an alligator, if they wanted, actually sit upright in a seat and have their tail?
That is why I'm wondering. Okay, that leads to my question.
I know Mopar's joking, but could they actually buckle in and imagine driving down the highway and looking over and seeing
what is that children's story
shotgun
with a gator? There's a whole children's book with a gator that's friends with people, and they just made a movie on it. Tyler. A Lyle Crocodile. I'm picturing it. Is this Lyle Crocodile where he's okay, that's why I asked, where does he sit at Citizens Bank Park? Let's say they let him into Citizens Bank Park. Is it a seat? Is he laying in the seat? Is he sitting in the seat? Is he
take the aisle?
That's why. Are you holding him? Is he on the stairs?
Dude, they were never gonna let your alligator.
Is he under the seat? Where is Wally in Citizens Bank Park? Let's take this up a notch.
Well, if there's a parade, Matthew Kaluzny, I think it is. Yes, I agree. Wally should be at the parade.
The float.
He can be on the float. Yeah, that would be great. If Wally becomes the rallying mascot of Red October, I'd love to support Wally.
Wally is a trained alligator, guys. I saw him giving him commands. The owner was he's like a dog.
In my old job,
I don't know if you can play fetch with him, but
I would probably spin it into a joke like this. Are alligators the most misunderstood animal in the animal kingdom? 610-632. That's a shout out to the sports radio world.
Weiler is Tyler Zuli roaming. Roaming CCNA.
Baseball, they always say I've never seen that before. Well, an alligator at a stadium.
Listen.
Never seen that before.
Yesterday, the great Jamie Lynch said baseball is very romantic. Mm-hmm. And this is a whole level of romance you did not think you were going to get. This is not just a support animal. Wally is family. Wally is a friend.
Wally has an invitation to the studio. If you can pet his tongue.
I have so many questions. So Wally can sit right here. We've got a whole seat for Wally.
Yeah, we got nice warm lights for him. He's a reptile. That's good, right?
Yeah, do you think he swims in the pool? Does he take a bath? There's so many questions. So we're just going to have Wally on the show because
the price of chicken legs and thighs these days, man, it's not cheap to feed Wally.
I imagine Wally eats a lot of them.
Yeah. Okay, so Wally's a star.
Wally is a star. He's an actual movie star.
He's got more Marvel credits than I do.
That's for sure.
So let's transition from Wally to the bullpen, I guess. That seems like a natural transition point there. But yes, the bullpen was great yesterday. Rob Thompson, in the locker room the other night, he again said it the other day on radio. He said, the hard part is getting into the playoffs. Now that we're in, we have a team that is built for the playoffs. And what he meant by that was we have good starting pitching, and some real talent at the top end. We have a good bullpen, and we have a good offense. And you do need all three. And, when you look at the Dodgers, they're pretty beat up right now in their starting rotation. The Braves, we talked about their starting rotation leaking oil a little bit in the month of September. But the Phillies bullpen is tremendously better than it was last year at this time. So that's a real positive. And seeing Sir Anthony, look, 1 1/3 innings doesn't mean he's officially back by any means, but it was the best he's looked in a while. And maybe if you can give him and Craig Kimbrel this week off, maybe they get that playoff adrenaline pumping in the blood. Maybe it's German blood cycling. I don't know. I would encourage both. But maybe they do get it back. And if Sir Anthony and Kimbrel can be competent, and we'll talk more about Kimbrel in a second, come playoff time, I mean, this bullpen goes from like a question mark 3-4 weeks ago to an absolute strength. And when you're facing a team like the Braves or the Dodgers, if you get to the NLCS, or whoever, the Diamondbacks are playing pretty well, you need that. And that can make all the difference in the world.
Yeah, it is great that we are able to see in a game like yesterday, you get Gregory Soto in, you get Sir Anthony Dominguez in,
good.
you get Dylan Covey in, like you get other pitchers in, and they get an inning that they get to pitch. They're at the mound. They can show us what they can do. It does now have us wondering, can we trust Sir Anthony, as Justin is saying? I don't know about all that. I don't think that from yesterday's game I'm really changing the rotation of the bullpen. But for Orion specifically, after having an inning on Sunday that we saw a strong, the slider in full effect, I should say, comes back out, does it again, gives up a hit, first hit in the majors, and then has a pair of strikeouts, closes out the inning with some help. So yeah, Orion is a slider machine. And I know it's something that we've talked about and just we're watching it unfold. And the things that even like Stubbs was saying, he was saying he hadn't had a chance to watch him, but he just heard about him, and he was like, it's what he's pitching it's nasty. It's hard to hit, and it's tough. And I think it was Rob Thompson that was saying what makes it crazier is opponents, first of all, haven't faced him yet. So there's a whole benefit there that come postseason, they haven't faced him. And even if you've watched film, you can know he's going to throw a slider, and you still can't hit the slider with the way the movement is. So it's one of those aces in the back pocket that you have, knowing that regardless how much film you watch, come postseason time, you can know the playbook, you can know the call, you can know what's going to happen, and you still can't hit the ball.
Yeah, John in the chat saying, I can't. It's so funny to see somebody use a slider to set up a fastball, because usually it's kind of the opposite. But when you throw your slider at 92, 91, maybe even as high as 93, and then you're coming and busting their ass with a 99, 100 mile an hour fastball. I mean, that's why Rob Friedman, the pitching ninja, is enamored with this kid's stuff, because like that 7 mile an hour difference isn't going to look that much crazier, and one breaks, up to 6 inches, and the other one's probably going to try to jam you inside or whatever. So this kid, Mopar says it, he could be a huge, factor in this postseason. And we've talked about it. I feel completely confident throwing him into a big spot in the playoffs, which is wild.
I know. And that's the thing. Cat's out the bag. Like, we've been talking about Orion at different points, especially as the bullpen was struggling. We've been wondering if Orion was going to get the call up. Orion is here, and Orion is not only here, but he's showing and proving why he should be included in the postseason roster and get an opportunity to pitch come playoff time. He's very much fun to watch, Greg. I agree. And he definitely has something he adds to this team that you didn't even know we knew we were missing stuff in the bullpen, but the slider specifically just brings a whole different type of a pitch that you now have that extra asset that you have Aaron Nolan pitching better, you've got Zack Wheeler, and now you also know the depth that you can add an Orion into the mix. Yeah,
he might have the best pitch in the bullpen, which is a crazy thing to say, but it's that nasty of a pitch. Now, Craig Kimbrel, I kind of had some blood vessels explode the other night. I didn't want to do it yesterday because yesterday was all about reveling in the glory of making the playoffs and the champagne baths and the party and all of that. But Craig Kimbrel lost in that, almost blew another one. He let up the game-tying home run 2 nights ago. It was in the 8th inning, and I started tweeting about it. You're not going to get him right in non-save situations. His entire career, he has struggled in non-save situations. He's a Hall of Famer in save situations. So to me, now the question is, do you live and die? He might have the rest of this week off. He might just take it easy. But do you live and die with him in the 9th inning and let him right himself there, where he has a higher, and we're going to show you the numbers of 8th and 9th inning difference between Kimbrel in a second. Actually, Tyler, you can throw them up right now while we continue this talk. There are the numbers, and this is the 8th inning right here. He has 85 appearances, 66 innings, over 1-1 whip, 3.62 Ks to walk ratio, and his opponents are hitting 172, 276, and 322 slash line. And then in the 9th inning, here he is, 642 appearances, a sub-1 whip, a 4.21 K to walk ratio, and his opponents are hitting 161. So his numbers are clearly better in a much larger sample size. So it's kind of night and day difference between non-save. I can't imagine he was used a lot ever in the 7th inning in his career. So to me, it's like either let him figure it out in the 9th in those save opportunities, or just kind of like don't use him.
Yeah.
And it's a real sticky spot. Rob Thompson said the right things that, Kimbrel isn't penciled in as our closer here. We're going to go by committee and ride the hot hand. And the hot hand right now is Alvarado and Hoffman. So I can use Kimbrel in like that 6th, 7th inning. I don't really see the point in using him that late in the game. Like, if you're going to survive his mistakes, I'd rather it be in the 6th, 7th inning where you have 2 or 3 innings to kind of make up for it if it does happen. That, or just live and die by the sword and throw him out there in the 9th and see if a Hall of Famer can, do what he's done in his entire career. I just think using him in the 8th inning is misusing him right now. So I'm really curious to see what Rob is going to do here in the playoffs, because it's not very often you can survive 8th inning mistakes in playoff baseball. So I'm kind of nervous about Kimbrel. I am.
I mean, and you have two opposite ends. You have, it's all unknown, but you have an unknown and a Hall of Famer and Craig Kimbrel, who we've seen his numbers.
He is a Hall of Famer.
We've seen his numbers this season, as we were just talking about. And then you have on the other side someone like Orion and Captain Kirk, who is also unknown, but just because he's young and new. And so I know we talked about this, Craig Kimbrel gets the rest of the remainder of the regular season off and try to be fresh and just do the bullpen reps instead of going out into the game, versus Orion getting the go, like in a playoff position. I would go
Hoffman in the 8th.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. It doesn't have to be either of them. There's Hoffman's pitching well. I know Ranger Suarez did not have a great night, but Ranger Suarez had tequila in his blood. But there's plenty, when you look across the bullpen, there's plenty of options. And even for relievers specifically, where you don't have to go to Kimbrel. Yeah,
Mopar says, Alvarado's going to have his brain farts. It's possible, but he's also got nasty stuff, and he's back to kind of where he was.
Trust him more.
For the first 3 months of the season, he was one of the best relievers in baseball. He was phenomenal until he got injured, and now he looks back in that form. Mm-hmm. Hoffman, we've talked about a lot. Like, he's my setup guy.
Hoffman, to me, is definitely proven himself.
Probably going to be too drastic of a move for Rob Thompson to make, I'm assuming, because I don't think he's going to, Rob's he's one of these baseball lifers, and he's going to rely on Craig Kimbrel. I've accepted that. This is what I would do. I would go Hoffman and Alvarado 8-9, and then use Sir Anthony, Kimbrel, and Orion in that 6 and 7 innings where the matchups say to use them. But to me, I would go drastic because I think they're pitching the best right now, and I think they've earned it. But last year's World Series run, Sir Anthony was struggling up until the playoffs, and then boom, the adrenaline hit, and he started pitching great. So, I could be completely wrong. That's my opinion on the situation. I think Hoffman has earned it, and I think Alvarado is nasty. So we'll see. One thing I think they need to get away from is the Kimbrel entrance thing. It looked really cool. It'll get Citizens Bank Park pretty hype, but it's not going to work if he's blowing saves.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's similar to what the Mets were doing with Diaz, and other teams have done it. Francisco Rodriguez used to have something, and of course the greatest closer ever had Enter Sandman and all that, and the Phillies were trying it, but if they're trying it and he's blowing playoff games, it's going to turn ugly. So I would say just don't do it, because the upside, it's not like juice is needed at Citizens Bank Park. The juice is there naturally. Yeah,
and I mean, they're trying things, but I think in these last games, try it. If it's not working out, it's time to maybe for the postseason, go with Hoffman, go with somebody else. But there is something else you can try, and it will pay off positively for you, and that's the Game Time app. Boom. The Game Time app has you covered. You are able to head over to the Game Time app, use that code PHLY, get $20 off of your purchase, and be able to buy tickets to come hang out with Jamie, myself, Wally at Citizens Bank Park, whoever it is that you're trying to hang out with at the games or concerts. Game Time app is a spot to go. And again, code PHLY to get $20 off. Now, like you're saying, Mickey, we do have options, which is a good thing. Overall, the bullpen is in a much more positive spot right now. Now, today, Zack Wheeler does get to start. Zack Wheeler comes in with that 3.64 ERA. Zack Wheeler is right on path to be able to start game one in the wild card. And also just Zack Wheeler's been putting up good numbers, been looking solid, and our number one go-to guy right now.
Yeah, he's looked like an ace, and I wonder how long they let him go tonight. I don't think he's going to go probably much over 85 or 90 pitches. He'll probably get his work in and just call it a day, because these games don't mean anything. Luis Ortiz is pitching for the Pirates tonight. He's got close to a 5 ERA. And I saw somebody in the chat say opponents are batting, I think, 296 off of them. So this is a game, even if the Phillies tried out, one of their hangover lineups again.
Yeah.
It's a game they should win. They should get the sweep. And that will get them the 90 wins on the season, which is rare air for a Phillies team and pretty awesome. Last night cashed the season over winner if you're on DraftKings at 88.5. But I would expect Wheeler to go out there and look like an ace tonight.
Yeah.
The Phillies right now on DraftKings, the money line is minus 218, so they're a heavy favorite. Minus one, or actually they're plus 100 on the run line there. So you can, I'm not anything over minus one, like 75. I don't bet, because it's a little too rich for my blood. But I would say the Phillies are pretty much a money line lock tonight, if I had to guess.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, as you're talking about closing in on 90 wins, which in itself is a major feat. I know Spiral out, you're saying that the Pirates do not rank higher than 20 in any category in pitching or batting across the league.
They're not good.
They're not. And look, this is a great spot to be in, that the Phillies have the ability to just kind of work through, finishing out the regular season, get guys some rest. Also, as we talked about, not only the 7th straight win, but is the longest winning streak since August of 2022. Their 44th comeback win this season. This is a team that's had a lot of comebacks and extra innings and of course injuries. So it's great to be able to see Zack Wheeler get to start, but as you mentioned, probably won't pitch too deep into the game.
No, I would imagine
guys
he does
rest,
a lot.
manage them, and try to have that. You want to manage the health and the momentum going into the playoffs. And as we did see, the roster or the starting lineups and rosters were announced for games 1 and 2. And that came out as we already know, Zack Wheeler is on pace to be able to start in the first game. Aaron Nola is expected to start game 2. Don't know who would start game 3 if one is needed. We're not even going to focus on game 3 because we're not going to need a game 3. We're going to get the job done in 1 and 2.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Ranger, because he wouldn't commit to him for a game 3. It'll be interesting to see if Ranger's used as a bullpen piece in games 1 and 2. And then if there is a game 3, hopefully there's not, because my nerves will be at an all-time high for a game 3. It'll be interesting to see. Then you just kind of go all hands on deck. You could go start Taiwan, bring Sanchez in immediately if he struggles. And then you can bring Lorenzen in, and then it's all bullpen arms on deck. So we'll see. It'll be interesting to see if they use Ranger in that bullpen piece. for games 1 and 2. I think it was Mopar asked about the lineup tonight. It is out. 6:05 start tonight, so a little earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Which I personally kind of love because I can watch it with my girls. Leading off Schwarber, it looks like it's pretty much more or less. Stott's still out. Schwarber leading off, Turner second, Harper third, Bohm fourth, batting cleanup, Real Muto 5, Castellanos 6. Sosa is in for Stott at second, batting 7th. Nick Cave, don't call me Jake Cave. Still don't know which one's the right Cave. Batting 8th, playing left field. And Christian Pache in center field, batting 9th with Wheeler on the mound. So not a completely give-up lineup. That's why the Phillies are minus 218 on the money line there. But speaking of Citizens Bank Park, I wanted to play this because, well, one, Tyler worked hard on it, so I don't want to waste his efforts and his work. But yesterday, Spencer Strider, who we remember fondly because we got to him last year, and we got to him good. And not only did the Phillies get to him, but Citizens Bank Park, I think, kind of rocked his world a little bit. So Spencer Strider was on a podcast yesterday, and the guy was asking him a question. And before we get to the video, Renee, I want to ask you the same question. The question was, do you have a sports hot take that would be unpopular? Anything come to mind as something that would be unpopular and hot takey?
Don't bring alligators to the game. No, I'm just kidding.
I believe this was John Boy Media to give them a shout out.
Actually, I don't know, and I might have to think through this video to come up with it.
So here is the video.
You put me on the spot. I'm not sure.
Now, let me preface this with saying I'm 98% certain he's joking, but 2% of me goes, Citizens Bank Park got to him. Here's Spencer Strider yesterday when asked what his sports hot take is.
Do you have any hot sports takes?
Any hot sports takes? Absolutely, there should be no fans. 2020 season, no fans. Get rid of the fans. It's too loud.
Too loud?
It's too loud. Everybody be quiet. We don't need the cheering. We know you're watching. I don't need the fans. You stay outside the stadium. Back it up. Let's do like a no lower bowl thing.
No lower
you know,
bowl, okay.
Just kind of, upper deck's great. Upper deck's great. Outfield, phenomenal. We don't need you around the dugouts. Right. Just try and be.
So there it is. He says no fans in the stands. Just keep them out of the lower level. If they want to sell the upper deck tickets, that's fine. That, to me, I don't know if you're a Phillies fan and can watch that and go, yeah, he's talking about Citizens Bank Park.
Absolutely.
Because coming in and out of the dugout, you know he was getting it last year. So I do think he's joking because he kind of has a little smirk to him. Stupid smirk with a stupid porn stash. But I think part of that is, there's always a little bit of truth in your jokes and your lies.
Always.
So I think Citizens Bank Park had him shook, and his stupid high tops and tight pants.
Gosh, he's wearing sneakers and socks.
Yeah, what a weirdo. So I hope he gets a chance to come back to Citizens Bank Park. He will be pitching, most likely, I'm assuming, Game 2 down in Atlanta. So hopefully we get him in Citizens Bank Park after hopefully beating the Diamondbacks, who are playing a little day baseball today. But yes, his hot take was no fans in the stands in the lower level.
You guys are firing off in the chat. I love it. I just think it's weird to say that because, first of all, if there's no fans, it's just practice. It's you don't even, in baseball, you never have a time when there's really no fans because even spring training there's fans. It's like a scrimmage in other sports where you are practicing and there's just your team there. But from the financial standpoint, obviously that literally makes no sense because they're selling out tickets by the dugout, by the court, by the field, behind the end zone. Like those tickets in every sport, those hot price tickets are literally, as you're talking about, spiral out paying the paychecks. But also, like, as an athlete, what a wuss answer to say you don't want fans because that's what you enjoy the most is when you make a big play and you hear the fans on their feet cheering and the excitement and the adrenaline. Imagine hitting home runs in an empty ballpark.
Yeah, I'm sorry the Braves fans suck and don't give you that juice because then you'd be abolishing your own fans, which is really stupid. And I'm pretty sure no Philly would say that because it's a total loser attitude.
I don't know any athletes that would really say that. It doesn't make sense because you're not playing for the fans, but they help. You're playing to win, but the winning is much sweeter when you have the fans there. And even if you're winning against an away team, like you're away and you're on the road and you're winning and the other team's fans are pissed off, you love that stuff. Like regardless what it is, You like it, but apparently Strider's not feeling it.
Well, somebody, I think it was Mopar, said he's impressionable in a bad way. And I'm convinced Citizens Bank Park in the playoffs made him doo-doo in his pants.
Doo-doo.
And he drip, drip, drip. Yes. I think he got shook last year.
Clearly, and still is. He's still shaking in his boots a little bit.
Yeah.
I think, get him, Wally. I just think that he's nervous right now because he knows.
Because he's having a great year, and if it all goes to shit in the playoffs,
he's preparing.
Nobody's going to remember that great year.
Yeah, absolutely. John Dickerson, we already did a segue into game time. We did that already.
But speaking of another segue, let me tell you about, and I got to pull it up first because I wasn't prepared.
My hot take really quickly is...
Ooh, yeah, boo this man.
Boo, you suck.
What's your hot take?
Is I don't like ties. I don't know if that's a hot take. I think that it's stupid to have everybody come together
soccer,
in anything. It's the dumbest thing ever.
Mostly soccer.
Okay, but in anything, it is absolutely ridiculous to have scouting reports, like so much goes into a game preparation, and then to go out there and just tie.
I agree
you might as well
with you.
not play it at all.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think
it's the dumbest thing ever to have a whole 90 minutes or 2 hours. And you just end in a tie. It's like, it's a participation trophy thing, which is also can't stand that either.
If my daughters get participation trophies,
throw it out.
They're going in the trash.
Throw it away.
You know what's not going in the trash? My DraftKings Sportsbook app, because we're back with another week of football, and DraftKings Sportsbook is keeping you in the NFL action. We got a game tonight, which is great. New customers, I'll have the 2 TVs going tonight. Pew, 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 pew. New customers bet $5 and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Throw down 5 on any of this week's epic matchups and walk away an instant winner. And DraftKings isn't stopping there. All customers can take advantage of 2 new offers every game day this September. Football's more fun when you're in on the action. So download the app now and sign up using that code right there on the screen for you YouTubers, PHLY. New customers can bet just $5 and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. You want to get your timer ready, Renee? It's almost time.
I forgot. I was like...
Using DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL with code PHLY. The crown is yours. Now, my time yesterday was 35 seconds.
0.01.
So here we go. Let's get in playoff mode. Look, we asked the Phillies to be in playoff mode. Us here at PHLY, Phillies podcast, we got to be in playoff mode. So
go.
Wait. Let's. I was taking a deep breath. I need to. All right. You reset.
3, 2, 1.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777. Visit ccp.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, licensee partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles, 21 plus. Age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms for eligibility, terms, and responsible gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply.
31 seconds!
Bang! It's Red October, folks.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That's a 4-second smash job. So,
that was fantastic.
Just got to say, I'm in playoff mode. I'm ready.
Quick note, I was also lost because Spiral Out said, as the host of the Union pod, I was throwing shade. I actually was not throwing shade at the fact that the Philadelphia Union have tied their last 4 straight games. But as a former soccer player myself that has had many games that have ended in ties, I hate it. But wow, Jamie, guys, bringing the
4 seconds.
It's playoff J right now.
Speaking of playoffs, the Arizona Diamondbacks I saw as we're wrapping up today's show, and we're gonna end with a moment of zen. I forget what show used to do that. Was that Letterman, Colbert?
I don't know.
Who was that? I'm really brain farting. But a show used to end with a moment of zen. Oh, it was Daily Show, I think, with Jon Stewart.
Sure.
He used to end with the moment of zen. It was always very nice. So we're going to end with our own moment of zen today. But the Diamondbacks are in action right now. They're down 2 runs in the top of the 8th to the White Sox. According to Fangraphs, John, me, thank you. It's like 35 seconds. Maybe 40 on a good day. But according to Fangraphs, the Diamondbacks do have a 97.9% chance of making the playoffs. They're all but in. The Cubs are probably going to be in, but the Reds are on their heels. Marlin's still alive, but it's going to be an interesting wild card race. But it looks like the Diamondbacks would really have to blow it to not make the playoffs and probably get a ticket to Citizens Bank Park. So, our moment of zen.
Wait,
today.
Really quickly, I just love the fact that we're not in the chaos of the push for the wild card race, because I was reading and it's like there's potential for 4-way ties, 3-way ties, obviously a 2-way tie. There's all these scenarios that are playing out of what could happen, and it's going to come down to all these tiebreakers. And as we talk about not liking ties, what do we dislike more than a tie for the postseason?
No.
That's brutal. So I'm glad.
After 162 games,
listen,
you don't want to.
We don't have those problems. We don't have to worry about that over here. Our team just goes ahead and clinches with like 5 or 6 games left.
We already know we're playing at home, so it's all good.
Take
Phillies
that.
land.
Take that.
So as we close out today's episode of the PHLY Phillies podcast, Monday and Tuesday, you're gonna want to follow our Twitter and social media accounts, Instagram and TikTok and all that crazy stuff the kids do. You can find me on Foot Finder. Maybe we'll throw it out there for the tickets, but we are going to have tickets to Wednesday's game to give away Monday and Tuesday. We're going to let you know how you can do that. It's social media related. It's very easy. So stay tuned to us at PHLY_Phillies, our main hub account at PHLY_sports. So you want to pay attention to that, because we're really hoping one of you diehards gets those tickets with us on Wednesday, and me, you, Tyler, and our own Charlie O'Connor are going to head down to the game together and have a blast. So follow our accounts, hit that like and subscribe button in the YouTube chat. We appreciate all of you. Today was a lot of fun. Spiral Out, John, Julia, Eugene, Mopar, everybody. Big Mike I saw was in here. Everybody, thanks for hanging out with us. Now I give you, Renee, we'll be back in a second. I want to give you the moment of zen, and then we'll just kind of smile about it. Here is today's Phillies moment of zen. You see who that man is right there? And sending some piss missiles into center field today at Citizens Bank Park. You can see the knee brace on his left knee. Rob Thompson did say, it's pretty much World Series that he'll make his debut if they are able to get there. He's going to have to be a pinch hitter or a DH only. So there it is. I just like seeing Reese taking batting practice at Citizens Bank Park. On top of how cool a World Series run would be, to see a Kirk Gibson, Willis Reed return from injury type of moment on the biggest stage would go down in Phillies history as like one of the coolest things ever.
I honestly had no idea what you were about to do, so I was very nervous. I'm a Eugene Krabs. Welcome, Mr. Krabs.
Tomorrow I'll take a picture of my driveway, and I'll show you my penis driveway.
He said feet pics. I didn't know what you were about to say. I didn't know where this was going. I had no idea. But that is a moment of zen. It's always great seeing Reese's Pieces out there smashing balls. And
hopefully he can make it. And, hopefully the team can make it to the World Series.
I'd love to have him just be at least in a position where, if needed, we can call on him.
If he comes out of a dugout at Citizens Bank Park for a pinch hit opportunity, that place will go nuts. And it would be awesome. Hopefully you enjoyed today's show. We'll be back tomorrow, 1 o'clock?
Yeah, so just to add to that really quickly, I know we originally were talking about a post-game show, possibly when the next post-game show is going to be. We will not have a post-game show today, so this is it. This is the only time you get to see us today.
Tuesday.
But we will have post-game shows for all of the playoff games. So for the remainder of the regular season, look, the Phillies have already handled business. There's not as much to talk about post-game right now. We're saving all the good, juicy stuff for the playoffs. So for the Mets series, for today, as the Phillies hopefully sweep and close out this series against the Pirates, we are not going to have a post-game show, but we will have post-game and pre-game shows for all throughout the playoffs.
That was a great dad joke.
Oh, it was. Yeah. You're rubbing off on me.
It was a pirate joke, people. For Renee Washington and Tyler Zulli behind the camera, although you did see a section. So what?
What's that?
Second of Tyler there.
Jamie's having a high school, your brain's like high school boy right now.
Good thing you didn't flash up those videos, Tyler. For Renee and Tyler,
Lord have mercy.
Thanks for checking out the PHLY Phillies podcast. We're having a blast. Hope you are too, as we get ready for Red October here in Philadelphia. Podcast will be up in a little while. For those that listen on that platform, we thank you as well. We will see you tomorrow, live 1 o'clock on YouTube. See you tomorrow. Go Phils.
We all silly like the mayor.